Hello, my name is Charlene. Not talking to you tonight about my business or anything like that. I am reaching out on a more personal level. Um, I've recently had to undergo a cervical fusion, and with that, I had to have an incision to my neck, as you can see. And when I went in, I had to have some glue. The surgeon used some glue to sew the instead of sutures to close the wound. Um, I have an allergy to adhesives, and I knew that going into the surgery. But even though I say that on my chart, I have it documented on my chart. People rarely pay attention to that. Even though when I go and get labs drawn, I tell them I have an allergy adhesive. They tell me that, oh, this won't cause it. We'll use paper tape, all kinds of stuff. So pretty much they just blow it off. So in this particular instance, when I went back for my follow-up visit and they were going to take a suture out, when they took the suture out, the glue came right out with it. So the wound didn't heal around the glue, obviously, because I'm allergic to it. And so I decided at that point that I was going to have a physician document in my chart what I was allergic to, which meant I had to go to an allergist. And as you know, with healthcare, you have to have a referral to go to an allergist. So I first went to a dermatologist who came into the room, didn't touch my skin, barely listened to my story, but the one thing that she did was send me to an allergist who was phenomenal. Actually listened to my story, and then ordered me some allergy testing. So my story began when I was a baby. My mom would tell me that I could not wear diapers as a child. I was the only one of her children that could not wear store-bought diapers, Pampers. She had to use cloth diapers. She always said that I was finicky, one of her most finickiest children. So I knew I couldn't wear diapers as a child. I knew that if I put on a Band-Aid or something, if I wore it for a long time, my skin would get red. I had a surgery at one point where I had a Band-Aid. The bandages for the surgery stayed on for about 2 days, and when the physician went to take the bandages off, it actually ripped the skin off as well. And for that surgery, I had to get tattoos to cover up because there was skin missing off of that, to make it look like normal tissue again. When I was pregnant with my oldest son, I had the lymph nodes in my feet swell up. So I would have all these crazy just things happen to me out of the blue, and nobody could explain why. When I was in Florida, I had my tongue swell up and became a scallop tongue where it looks like ridges around the edges of your tongue, and it was just swollen up and very, very painful. And when my colleagues talked me into going to the ED, they said it was anything from scarlet fever to a rare mineral deficiency. So in essence, they didn't know what was wrong with me. And so this has continued until this day. And recently when I had this surgery, and I just decided that was it, I had enough. But the allergist was really attentive. He listened, he took it seriously. And so he ordered several patch testing. So now they don't use needles anymore to test to see if you're allergic to anything, thank goodness. But they do patch testing. So my allergist, and I'm just going to show you rather than taking off my shirt to show you, he did over 100 different tests to see if I was allergic to anything. And so the first patch testing that he did, it was over 100 different little patches, and each little patch has something on it to see if you're allergic to. So he did like the minor things first, like dust and pollen and all of those different things. And funny enough, I'm not allergic to any of those things. However, as you can see from the pictures of my back, the adhesive that they use to hold the patches down, I was allergic to that. And so it has raised marks and scars and stuff from where the adhesive was. And so We had to hold off for a little bit because since I was negative to all the common allergens, and we knew that was probably a possibility because there wasn't anything else, drugs or food, that I had ever had any kind of reactions to. But he wanted to do those first before we actually moved to the adhesive panel where he knew I was probably going to be reactive. And so as you can see, just from the adhesive to hold the patches in place, I got really scarred up. So we waited a couple weeks and then we did the adhesive panel. So when he did the adhesive panel, finally, I did come back positive for 3 things. One of them is 2-hydroxymethylchlorate. And that is commonly found in dental appliances, paints, resins, orthopedic fillers, joint prostheses. The other one is Bioban CS 1135, which is found in glues, latex, paints, printing kits. And then the third thing was 4-tert-butylphenol formaldehyde resin, which this is a really important one because it is found in deodorants, diapers, film, furniture, shoes, belts, handbags, insulation, nail adhesive, just about anything that you use in household boxes, just anything that we use, disinfectants, paper, everything. And so it really solved a lot of mysteries for us. So the swollen tongue actually came from when I got my braces, because the dentist had to do a mold of my teeth. And so it was a day or 2 after that mold that I got my swollen tongue. And we just didn't think about it to connect the two because it didn't happen immediately. The swollen lymph nodes in my shoes or in my feet when I was pregnant was because of shoes. And so apparently there is this glue adhesive that they use to put the liners of your shoes together. And so I had gone barefoot in some shoes when I was pregnant. And so my lymph nodes and feet reacted to being barefoot in those shoes. And so in the past, I've also have reactions to, I couldn't wear sanitary napkins. As a teenager, there are certain shampoos that as soon as I like wash my hair or whatever, automatically breaks me out. And so now this has, given me relief in that now I know what the cause is. But now we're trying to find some things that I can use. I have over the years found one deodorant that I can use, Secret. And I've been able to find some shampoos and things that I can use. But we cannot find Band-Aids, or I also can't do EKG pads, electrodes, and things like that if I go into the hospital. And so I wanted to make this video to see, one, if there are other people like me that are severely allergic to adhesives. I've seen some videos where people are allergic to the eyelash glue, which I am too. I had a photo shoot recently with some fake eyelashes, and it did cause some pustules to form on my eyelashes. But guess what? I stopped wearing the eyelashes. That one was an easy fix. But if I have to go into the hospital again, I need to have something that I can use in the hospital. And right now we don't know what that is. And so I'm reaching out to see if there's anybody else that has the same kind of allergies that I have. If there's a company that makes some brand of Band-Aids or adhesives or surgical binders or anything like that. And then also, as we get older, our skin gets thinner. I am a nurse, and so my fear is that if I have to go in the hospital again, and as I age, it's going to get worse with regards to how much skin and tissue that I lose. Because now it's pretty much anytime I have to have something done, I'm losing skin with it. So it is a plea to see if anybody else has any answers or information. My allergist is working on that as well, but also to raise funds for some research, and then maybe for an app where we can punch in these extremely long names to find out if they're in these common household products, because every other allergy app that I've seen is for food or drugs or something like that, and not for these types of allergies. So thank you for listening to my video. I'd love to get some information if you know anything about this. And then if you can, donate for the app development or some research. Thank you.